Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to welcome you to our first webinar, and we look forward to spending this morning with you and providing you with valuable insights into the modernization of your records management practices, very specifically focusing in the local government environment. While this might be our first webinar, it will definitely not be our last. During the next few months, we will be hosting webinars addressing key issues such as strategies for enhanced citizen engagement, advanced procurement, transformation of supply chain management, business processes within organizations, etc. So I'd like you to keep an eye out for our invites and please join us. This morning, we are joined by our panel comprising Mrs. Marlies Vol, the Corporate Services Manager at the Theewaterskloof Municipality, Mrs. Estelle de Bruin, Senior Manager at Business Engineering, Mrs. Leonie Botha, Senior Consultant at Business Engineering, and then Alan Yaxley, Director at Business Engineering, but also the Managing Director of Collaborator Software. Please post any questions you may have in the Q&A area and not necessarily the chat, because the Q&A we can answer during the course of the event, and we will endeavor to answer those questions with as much detail as possible. We will have a discussion at the end of our webinar, during which time you'll have the opportunity to pose your questions to the panel for discussion. And we're also going to run two polls. You'll be prompted during the session, so we can look at the polls, and those results we'll also discuss at the end of the session. Once again, a warm welcome to everyone that took the time out to join us this morning. Business Engineering was established in 1998, and we've been operating local government since 2003. We are active throughout Southern Africa with our head office in Pretoria and regional operations throughout the country. We hold a level 2B certification, and we believe that respect, integrity, value creation, and a commitment to reinvest in the communities within which we operate have sustained us during the past 21 years. Our installed base are well spread out throughout the country with representation in most economic centers. Our commitment to the success of our client engagements, we believe, sets us apart as a leading professional services organization within Southern Africa. If we look at records management or the records management environment, several technology trends are transforming how organizations and municipalities handle, store, secure, retrieve, and manage their records and information. Now, traditionally, and this is where we made a big entry with the Collaborator Foundation system, the buzz was around electronic document management systems, a platform that traditionally enabled organizations to digitize and store electronic documents electronically. We saw the introduction of version control, metadata tagging, and workflow automation. Really, really exciting time in our life cycle, if we look at the industry as a whole. Cloud-based solutions gained momentum in the post-COVID era as it provided organizations with a scalable and secure platform to store and manage records online. Cloud storage also introduced a host of advantages such as enhanced accessibility, data redundancy, and it introduced a significant simplification in disaster recovery, making it easier for businesses to manage records from anywhere in the world, in the country. Most recently, automated record retention was introduced by many vendors, such as Collaborator, to enable organizations to define and enforce retention policies for managing the life cycle of records effectively and with little, and I'm hesitant to say no, human intervention, based on regulatory frameworks or the regulatory requirements and governed by specific business requirements. Apps have become such an integral part of our daily corporate interaction, and mobile records management solutions, such as found in the Collaborator Citizen app, empower consumers and employees to access, update, and manage records on the go using their mobile devices. Mobile integration enhances productivity significantly at almost all levels of the organization. It enables remote collaboration and ensures seamless access to critical information, improving efficiency in the overall records management process. Now, if we take a look at business process automation and subsequent optimization, and how these concepts speak to a modern records management environment, we soon realized that effective workflow management is a key success factor in the digitization and modernization of processes within any organization. However, we also soon realized that the success of a digital transformation strategy hinges very heavily on an effective electronic records management foundation. So we can deploy the business processes, or the organization can commence with automation or optimization of business processes throughout the organization. Our core responsibility remains that the fact that we need to have a solid records management environment where we know that we keep the records in a compliant manner. I mean, if we just look at the days of writing letters to companies or councils and being grateful if we received the acknowledgement within 2 weeks and the response perhaps within 4 weeks, those days are long gone. Today, our stakeholders expect instant response to correspondence and immediate resolution to their issues. Just think about the impact email had on our traditional operational activities within companies, if you're young as me, and then realize what impact WhatsApp and Instagram and Facebook are having on our organizations and doing to our sanity. It's becoming near impossible for organizations to function without a certified, credible, and reliable electronic records management system in support of a well-thought-through digital transformation strategy. I'd like to use the opportunity to introduce Estelle. Estelle will provide us with a deep dive into the intricacies associated with a successful digital transformation strategy. Thank you, Estelle.
Thanks, Philip, for that introduction and touching on the very important factor of digital transformation. So let's be honest, most organizations still have some distance to go on their digital transformation journey. According to research, while 85% of CEOs accelerated digital initiatives during the pandemic, most can't articulate their overall strategy and progress beyond the fact that they've made a tech investment. The imperative for change is the creation of an adaptable business, one that can thrive in the digital economy. If CEOs and managers can't say their digital transformation resulted in new business advantages or adaptability, then they haven't transformed. So what is digital transformation? It involves any initiative that uses technology to improve business resilience and performance. Today's tech-savvy and digitally native consumers expect immediate engagement. We also refer to this as instant gratification, where when I send a message, I want an almost immediate response. As a result, businesses should upgrade their core operational processes if they want to continue to grow and thrive. Otherwise, they risk being left behind. Digital transformation may mean different things to different organizations. However, the result remains the same. A financial institution using machine learning to detect and predict fraudulent transactions, digital transformation. E-commerce retailers searching for new ways to serve personalized customer recommendations, digital transformation. Government agencies and municipalities converting paper to digital for easier access to public records. That too is digital transformation. When we look at the global state of digital transformation, to survive in today's business world, to drive customer engagement, to retain and recruit employees, and build business resilience, organizations need to evolve their existing processes. Between 2022 and 2024, the International Data Corporation, also referred to as the IDC, predicts investment in digital transformation will reach $6.3 trillion, which they say is 55% of all ICT expenses. Every good digital initiative baseline starts with modernizing an organization's data and information management systems. Only when businesses' everyday workflow reduce manual and paper-based processes can digital transformation and acceleration truly occur. Further research that was conducted in 2022 revealed that 75% of organizations want to go paperless within the next 5 years. Whether that's practically achievable is another question. But given these projections, those who do not convert to digital workflows do risk lagging behind their competitors. I'm going to launch a quick poll to understand whether your organization have a digital transformation plan in place. And we'll look at the results within the next 30 minutes. Thanks, Dan. Okay, we're going to give our delegates or participants just a couple of seconds to complete the poll, and we will be able to share the results. And a whopping 48% of our respondents have indicated that they do have a digital transformation plan in place. 31, no, we don't. 19 have started the discussion around the possibility of a digital plan, and 2% have indicated that they have no digital transformation plan in place. So that's a very heartwarming result, and we are hoping that we can even move the bottom 2% into assisting them in getting a digital transformation plan in place. Most business records today are born digital. For example, emails, electronic forms, websites, social media posts, WhatsApps, photographs, videos, recordings, all born digital. While paper records may always be required for certain purposes depending on local regulations, it's important to seek balance between the physical and the digital files your organization keep. Any unnecessary use of paper results in a hybrid physical and digital information landscape, which can be difficult to manage. It duplicates efforts and increases risks to your business and its bottom line. To modernize your data and information management processes, having a solid digital transformation guide is key. So on the screen, we've outlined 5 steps to help your team to achieve success in their digital transformation or acceleration, for those who already have a digital transformation plan in place, to accelerate that plan. I'm going to just spend a quick couple of minutes on each of these steps. Step 1, identify. By identifying your records, it's not surprising that 67% of leaders said identifying documents to be digitized is a top factor when it comes to cleaning up paper records for digital transformation. You can't make good business decisions if you don't know what you have in your records information inventory. A well-organized inventory is a critical first step to a digitally transformed organization. With a well-organized inventory, you can make the right decisions about what records to retain, what records to destroy, and what records to digitize. Organizations should have retention schedules in place based on legal, regulatory, and operational requirements for their specific industry. We do have a lot of municipal delegates to the webinar, but we also have some individuals joining from other organizations, and each one of these organizations have their specific legal, regulatory, and operational requirements when it comes to the retention of records. Records that have met compliance obligations based on these rules can be destroyed. While the notion of keeping everything may be tempting, it's potentially damaging. It increases costs. There's compliance risk and also a loss of productivity. It was found in recent studies that an average employee spends 25% of their week filing, copying, indexing, or retrieving records, whether paper or electronic records. When we then move into step 2, to digitize records. Paper documents that remain fundamental to your business operations should be converted into digital format to enable easier access and deeper analysis. But not everything needs to be digitized. On average, organizations report 42% of boxes containing paper records to be digitized. The rest can either securely be stored or destroyed, depending on the obligations and needs. Digitization enables organizations to take full advantage of the information already on hand, and most have already progressed in this step. When it comes to record keeping, more than half of organizations already store some of their information digitally. By digitizing paper records, your team can securely access company data from anywhere, identify, understand, and extract insights, streamline complex workflows, respond quickly and make informed decisions, and increase day-to-day productivity. By deploying the Collaborator Foundation system as part of your organization's digital transformation strategy, your organization will be enabled in the process of digitizing records. After you've identified what you have, you've categorized it, and scanned it, the next step is figuring out where all the information goes, regardless of its format or type. So in step 3, the storing of records and information. Storing information digitally in a centralized cloud-based repository enables employees to access and more effectively manage company data. A study found that 64% of organizations surveyed believe improvement in integrating new technology like cloud storage is mandatory to foster resilience. The shift to advanced digital storage technologies has been shown to ensure compliance and reduce risk, protect against data loss, accelerate innovation, streamline workflows, respond to litigations or audits, and make data more accessible for analytics. To limit the volume of paper you have, consider destroying records after they've been digitized. However, even after digitization, it might be necessary to still keep some of these physical records based on the fact that they're not deemed essential for imaging or that they have not met their eligible destruction date. Whether digital or physical, your storage choice depends largely on your digital transformation goals, informed by your records and information management policies and procedures. Some options to consider include on-premise storage, off-site data centers, in the cloud, or archived storage. Each one of these have several pros and cons. Partnering with a vendor, such as Business Engineering, can assist an organization with their storage strategy. Step 4, automation of core business processes. Now that you've organized and made decisions about your information, it's time to automate manual processes that consume a significant portion of your employees' valuable time. This is especially relevant to the parts of the business that manage numerous records, such as human resource departments, finance departments, supply chain management, building applications, the list goes on. A study found that 75% of organizations have increased investments in cloud-based technology or digital tools to improve workflow automation. Let's take an example of accounts payable. It's a common document-centric process found across nearly any organization. Supplier invoices typically arrive at multiple locations in multiple formats, whether it's in a paper or digital format. Everyone has different layout and possibly different languages, and is transmitted one by one as email attachments to the responsible finance team for invoicing and purchase order matching. It then needs to go to through a level of approvals, This manual, paper-intensive process is often inefficient and results in late payments to suppliers, weakening supplier relationships. To streamline a manual accounts payable process, we suggest a combination of digitization and leveraging modern technology like artificial intelligence and machine learning. This helps to create a digital mailroom where you can automatically pull key data out of digitized documents to get the right information to the right person at the right step in your process. It's important that the platform you use integrate with relevant systems where users need to access information as part of your process. At Business Engineering, we focus on assisting organizations realize their workflow automation requirements in line with their digital transformation strategy. Automating habitual administrative tasks eliminates bottlenecks, making your business faster, leaner, and more agile. It frees up employees' time to focus on strategic, high-value initiatives rather than being constrained by resource-heavy tasks that have less impact on your business. Step 5, unlocking data. This is the final step in your organization's digital transformation. After you've identified what to keep, digitized what you need, defined where to store it, and begun to automate manual processes, it's time to gain a better understanding of your business data. Incorporating artificial intelligence and machine learning capabilities allows you to classify and extract data so that your team can search and analyze information across multiple repositories. By aggregating and visually connecting this data through dashboards on one platform, such as the Collaborative Foundation system developed by Business Engineering, you'll gain powerful insights to make more informed business decisions. With these advanced analytics, identifying patterns and trends become a simple task to help you better understand your company's data landscape. Completion of these 5 steps gets your organization through its initial digital transformation. However, as technology continues to advance and more data is created, it's imperative to ensure the continuity of your efforts by maintaining good data hygiene for long-term success and resilience. So, the journey to digital transformation is not linear, but circular. Once you've completed the 5 steps to digital transformation, the focus shifts to repeating the process. This means implementing a well-planned records retention schedule to avoid the mistakes of the past. Records retention schedules define an organization's legal, operational, and compliance record-keeping requirements, regardless of format. It helps guide employees on how long to keep records for legal and operational purposes, and when it's time to securely dispose of them. Retention schedules are a necessary element of digital transformation. Schedules exist to ensure your journey remains on track and compliant, both now and in the future. Consider it your long-term digital transformation management blueprint. Organized, accessible data makes compliance easier to achieve, which can prove significant when facing litigation. Modern data storage compliance is arguably more important to the long-term vitality of your business than any other digital transformation initiative. In conclusion, partnering with Business Engineering on your digital transformation journey promises to be a transformative and collaborative endeavor. Together, we can navigate the complexities of digital innovation, leveraging our expertise to drive meaningful change and achieve strategic goals. By embracing cutting-edge technologies, enhancing operational efficiency, and fostering a culture of innovation, We are committed to empowering your organization to thrive in the digital age. Let us embark on this journey together, creating sustainable growth and unlocking new opportunities for success. Join us in shaping a future where digital transformation not only meets but exceeds expectations. Together, we can make a profound impact and lead the way towards a digitally empowered tomorrow.
I'd like to introduce our next speaker, or our set of speakers, Marlies and Liani, if you can prepare your setup. If Estelle, if you can just stop the share, and then we can move on to just to share. This is a bit of a historical overview of what has happened with a customer, Theewaterskloof Municipality. In it's a 10-15-year process that they've embarked on, and Marlies will give us a bit more detail together with Lihani and share the experiences and the use of ICT in preserving municipal records. I think it's also important for us to just note, and Marlies, if you would maybe just give us some background on the Transformational Status Award that has been awarded to Theewaterskloof Municipality, which allows them to run a hybrid system, a physical records management system in sync with a electronic records management system. But I'm going to cock this up, so I'm going to ask Marlies, as part of her presentation, just give you the details on that. Thank you, Marlies.
Good morning, everyone. I trust you can hear me well. My name is Marlies Vol. I'm the records manager at Theewaterskloof Municipality, as well as the manager corporate services. I've been a municipal officer for nearly 34 years, of which 28 years I'm the records manager of the municipality. Through the whole process, first Caledon Municipality and then Theewaterskloof Municipality, we embark in several processes for implementation, etc. And in October last year, we were evaluated by the Western Cape Archives and Records Service. And after all the inspection, whether all the documents are in place, and the electronic version of our collaborator system, we were found the first municipality in the Western Cape to reach transformational status. This is quite the achievement for our municipality, and with the assistance of collaborator business engineering, it was really an achievement for us, and we are very proud to be part of this whole process. Now, today's presentation will reflect on what records processes Theewaterskloof Municipality has implemented to transform from our paper-based document environment to the electronic records management environment. During this presentation, I will cover several topics: the file plan, the records management business processes, which is the correspondence process, service request, electronics records control schedule, and all the processes included in the records control schedule, which is committee management, burial management, the housing database, contract management, building control applications, filament event management, vehicle booking, and wayleave applications, recruitment and selection. Additional features will also be discussed during this session. Now, this is a clear picture of how your records in your institution should not be filed for safekeeping. Now, yes, this picture really shows that in some offices, it happens that it looked like that, but we are on track to pass this phase of our life and within the municipality, and to continue with new processes. Now, I just want to give you a little background on our municipality. The Theewaterskloof municipality was established on 5 December 2000. The municipality consists of various towns like Caledon, Teslasdal, which is also the head office is situated in Caledon, Greyton and Genadendal, Botterivier, Grabouw, Verliesdorp, and Rivier-Sonder-End. We do have a town model process which is used within the municipality. So we do have a town office in each of those towns listed. When the municipality was established in 2000, a temporary file plan was implemented and was used until the 30th of June 2002, where after the file plan was closed, application for transfer and destruction of the content of these files were submitted to the archives. Approval was granted, and the 820 files were transferred to the archives, and the destruction certificate or the destruction process started with the D files. Then from the 1st of July 2002, a new file plan and records control schedule was implemented. Together with that, we also started disposal authority register as well as a retention schedule, where all the retention periods for all the files in the new file plan was indicated, and we opened a register of open files, so that when a new file is opened with the first correspondence, this date was indicated in the register of open files. Then from 2003 to 2008, the municipality implemented the electronic document tracking system with the name of Quiddity. Although this was only a tracking system, it gave the municipality as well as the officials the exposure to electronic records. All incoming correspondence, letters, faxes, emails was scanned, captured on the system, and filed against the file plan on the system. Together with that, we also run a paper-based system to just make sure that we do have our paper-based copies still, and that was filed on the file plan. The records control schedule was, however, not in an electronic format. That was still paper-based records. We only use the Quiddity system for letters, faxes, correspondence, etc. Then we will have a discussion regarding the electronic records management system and how it was implemented. In 2009, Theewaterskloof municipality decided to implement the electronic records document management system. First, we started off to do a needs analysis to establish what is the expectations of the municipality, what we want the system to do, how it needs to be executed, what infrastructure requirements we need to implement this system. Then, thereafter, we start a procurement process, and the tender was awarded to Business Engineering for the Collaborator Electronic Records Document System. The initial award of the business processes was only for the records management system, which is the correspondence part, the committee management, the housing data database, that is the waiting list, the burial management, and contract management. We also embarked to export all the Quiddity information and import it into the collaborator system. The only obstacle in this regard was that the file numbers did not import correctly, although the detail and the nexus was correct. Then the staff of the record section commenced cross-referencing the data and corrected the file numbers. In the meantime, we also use the file plan, the records control schedule, the disposal authority register, the register of open files for the paper-based records, for the electronic records as well. There were no separate documents created for the electronic records management system. First, we start off with the records management business process, which is the correspondence one. We workshop the process with the management team to establish what are the needs of the management and our expectations of the system, and to ensure to get their input from the start right through the whole implementation process. Luckily, they were all very supported, and it was very easy to implement the electronic records document business processes within the municipality. After this workshop, the business process was customized and it was implemented. Thereafter, training was provided by business engineering consultants with all the new CoLab users, which is also the officials within the municipality. And then we implement the whole process, and there were some hiccups, but yes, it was addressed as we go along. Then we also embarked to have multiple discussions between the municipality and the archives regarding the implementation of the electronic records document system, because we were one of the first municipalities who actually engaged with the archives regarding the implementation of the electronic records document system. At the end of the day, after all these discussions, the implementation of the Collaborator electronic records document system was approved by the archives. Just a little discussion regarding the file plan. And as I already alluded to it, the same file plan for the paper-based records was also imported into CoLab for the electronic file plan, and all the amendment and additions to the hard copy or the paper-based file plan files are exactly the same with the electronic records management system. So it's all the same with the retention period. If a new file is open, you indicate the new date in your register of open files for the paper-based records. You will also include that in the file plan on the electronic records system. The same with a date closed. If a file is no longer necessary for use, the content of the file can be closed, and you close the whole file, and in your file plan and register of open files, and then also you close it on the Collaborator file plan. Then also what we have physically done to implement the records management business process of correspondence, all the details of incoming correspondence, emails, letters are captured on the system. If an original letter is received by hand, it's scanned and captured as an attachment to the system. These letters, emails, faxes, etc. are electronically allocated to an official for their attention and finalization. Any outgoing correspondence are either captured by the CoLab user, which is the official, or the paper-based copy are captured by the record section if it's handed in at the record section. The staff, we have decided that the staff of the record section allocate file numbers to all correspondence. The reason why we do that is to ensure that the correct file numbers are allocated to a correspondence document. As we all know, not all the officials or most of the officials within the municipality is not familiar with the PAL plan. They rather concentrate on their own work than to classify a document and add a collab or a file number to it. So yes, we have decided to make sure that all our documents are correctly filed against the correct files in the file plan, so the record section are doing that part. Then we also implemented the email classification. This is all official emails, incoming and outgoing, are classified in MS Outlook and captured then on an ad in Colab. Also, memorandums are electronically captured. It's distributed for the attention and finalization by the relevant Colab users, and is then also forwarded to the staff of the record section for filing. Then we also did implement service request business process. This is also linked to the correspondence. This is where a service request can be used by internal or external members, where complaints, suggestions, and inquiries can be logged. A service request can be captured by a Colab user, which is official on the system, or by a member of the public on the Citizen app. The Citizen app are available on various app stores and galleries. Service requests can on both platforms has an image attached, both Collaborator and Citizen app. So if there's a pothole in your street, you can take a photo of the pothole, you can log a service request, and you can attach this photo on this, attach it to the service request. Then the service request is assigned and registered by a relevant Colab user according to the predetermined task administrators within the municipality. That person needs to give feedback regarding the complaint. Any suggestions, any inquiries can also be, they can also comment on it on the Colab app, or by email, or by a phone call. When all these processes are finalized and completed and finalized, when feedback has been given to the person who logged the original service request, this service request is filed against the file plan and by the record section. Then also we did implement the electronic records control schedule. Through the initial procurement, committee management, which is agendas and minutes, there were burial management, the housing database, and contract management. Then we did additional procurement processes, which is building control applications, which is where the earth files is part of the electronic records control schedule, event and film management, where the original applications is part of the electronic records management, equipment and selection, where the personnel files are, wayleave applications, and vehicle booking. Currently, we also in the process to implement business licensing. This is our next business process to be implemented. Business processes are also linked with our Phoenix financial system, which also is through the Collaborator system, which is supply chain management, credit control, debt collection, and asset management. Now to discuss the committee management business process. This was one of the pilot processes, business processes for business and engineering. We spent a lot of time with the development of this business process, because the municipality have a certain format that we want our agendas and agenda items to look like. And at the end of the day, Collaborator was the right option to do it because it's a very successful process we did implement. The whole process starts with the agenda item being generated by Colab users on the system. They can also attach an access. They can distribute it for comments, not only for one, but for multiple directorates to comment. Thereafter, they can have a look at the comments. If they want to add something additional to the item, they can do that. And then it's submitted to the director or the responsible official for approval. After it has been approved by the director, or by the director, the manager corporate services verify the detail of the email, ensure that the attachment is attached and readable, to make sure that the content of the agenda item is correct. And after with that process completed, then a meeting is created on the system, and then this agenda item is directed to that specific meeting for discussion. All items relevant to a specific meeting are generated through the Gendoc system to compile the agenda of the meeting. Annexes to the items are then printed from Colab, and then the agenda which was generated is submitted for final verification to make sure there's no spelling errors, the formatting is correct, everything is in place. Then the agenda are distributed to all the attendees of that specific meeting. And then after the meeting, the minutes are generated by the committee clerk, and the outcome of the meeting, which is whether it's recommended to another meeting, whether it's deferred to amend the item, or whether it has been resolved, then this outcome is captured on the system to the agenda item, and then it is, if it's referred back, then it will go back to the original author of the item to amend it. If it's recommended to another meeting, it will again go directly into within the system to Secretariat Services to direct the item to another meeting. And if it's resolved, it is referred to the original author of the item for implementation. All agendas and minutes of meetings are uploaded to the electronic records control schedule and are available for any Colab user who do have access and have the permissions to have a look at these minutes, can access it through the electronic flyer plan. Then we also implement bureau management. That is where we manage our cemeteries by registering cemeteries, burial slots, reservations, occupation requests, etc. These data are captured and are at the town office. There are allocated officials who are responsible for the burial management at that town offices, and then also after, they are also responsible for the burial slot reservation request, and must make sure that the payments are made, all the documents which needs to be attached to the request are there, etc. And after the request has been approved by the permitted Colab user, it's automatically filed within the electronic records control schedule. Then our housing database, which is the housing waiting list, Applications for the housing database waiting list is managed by the housing staff in our town offices. They capture all the relevant documentation for each application on the system. And then these documents are automatically filed against the housing database in our electronic records control CDM. What then happened is, if a new housing project takes place within the municipality, the Western Cape Housing Database access this housing database, and they use that to determine which beneficiaries will be allocated to the new housing project. Then we also implemented the contract management, where all contracts concluded after the awarding of a tender, as well as the TVK2 processes, which is the processes between 30,000 and 300,000 rand. They are, and contracts are concluded, then that is also captured on the electronic records document system. Then also other contracts like MOAs, SLAs, maintenance agreements, etc. It also, the start date and the expire date can be captured. And if you wish to attach a reminder date to it, you can also do that. The attachments, which is the contract, can also be uploaded against the contract management. And then all these are automatically filed against the records control schedule, the contract management part. Then we also did implement the building control application. This is also one of our best practices, where an architect can submit a building plan application electronically through the Western Cape portal. Once all the supporting documents are submitted on the portal, it will be received by the municipality. The building applications are checked, the invoices are generated, and for payment by the architects. When the payment has been received, the building application will go to the relevant departments for their comments. And when it is approved, the approved plans are sent to the portal, after which the correspondence, the plans, etc., are all filed against the electronic records control schedule in the building control application. Then we also implement event and film management business process. This is where applicants can submit their event film applications electronically, also through the Western Cape portal. Once they submitted the supporting documents on the portal, it will be received by the municipality, just as the building control part. Then the invoices are generated and the pre-approvals are done and sent to the relevant departments for their comments. Once it is approved, the event site documentation, etc., will be filed against the electronic records control schedule. Then we also implement vehicle booking. This is how we manage the booking of our vehicles, which is available within the municipality. This is just municipal vehicles. This process facilitates the workflow, the reporting, and the booking of municipal vehicles to ensure that we do have proper approval for every time a municipal vehicle will be used, and to make sure that double bookings doesn't happen. This also is filed automatically on the records control schedule. Wayleave applications and recruitment and selection business processes. This is the last processes where we are in the final phase of implementing it, where the Wayleave application business process is electronically captured. Wayleave applications received from Eskom, Telkom, fiber, etc. Training has commenced, but there are still some minor changes which need to be done. after the final approval will be signed off and will be implemented. Then also the recruitment and selection process, it's also in the final phase for to send adverts electronically to the municipal recruitment portal, where it can be accessed by the public and they can apply for vacancies. All these records will also be filed against the records control schedule automatically. Then there are some additional features to the collaborator electronic system, which is really nice to have. One is the permissions. When a new business process are implemented, the responsible official who will use this process are identified, and certain permissions are given to them to use this process. Permissions are restricted to only users who have access to allow to see any action on this during this business process. After a new business process has been implemented, training is given to the directorate, who are responsible for the performance of this section. Manuals are also created for the CoLab users to refer to each business process site. The training as well as the creation of the manuals, etc., is all done by our business consultant on site. And yes, and on the site days, they also assist any other queries the CoLab users do have. Then another nice feature on the Collaborate system, you can access files or documents through the search option. It can either be global search or record search. Global search is where you search via a keyword, and then you can search on all the documents on the Collaborator system. Record search is where you search on a specific business process. Like for instance, if you are looking for an agenda item, a specific agenda item, then you will select committee management and you will search in committee management. But if you want to search for something which can be either a document, an email, an agenda item, etc., then you will use global search. Then there's also reports which can be generated. It's quickly, you can access it through the built-in report function. The reports can be exported in the desired format, PDF, Excel, Word, TIFF, etc. And the report can be used by management to manage their users. They can check their inboxes, their overdue tasks, etc. It's a very useful tool, and is used by a lot of our directors, deputy directors, to manage their CoLab users. There are also other documents which is generated electronically, as I alluded earlier, which is the file plan. We can export the whole electronic file plan from Collaborator. We can generate or export the register of open files. We can also use the report system to generate the transfer list to make sure which is all 20 documents. We can also report, draft or extract the destruction certificate, which is the D values, and also the disposal authority, which also indicates the retention periods of the various files within the file plan. Yes, and then I just want to mention that Theewaterskloof Municipality, after several discussions with the archives, etc., we have also embarked and are finalized, and the process is finalized now, where we have decided that our A20 paper-based document files, as well as our electronic A20 files, will have a mirror view of the documents inside those files. So when a document is forwarded to the records section for filing, which is the A20, they make copies of all the A20 documents from Collaborator, and they file it on the paper-based records. Then once a year, we use all the paper-based files, and we print a A20 copy of all the A20 documents in a specific file. We check it to each other and just make sure that all our A20 documents are filed on the hard copy files. This we have decided to do that in that way, so that when the files are transferred to the archives, it will be a full set of A20 documents, although it's printed copies, but we do have a full set of A20 documents. I thank you for allowing me this time to do this presentation for you, and I trust that this session will really guide you and assist you in your future endeavors. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Marlies. Thank you very much. Sliani prepares just to do the last few slides on the experiences that you guys have as a team achieved that or commenced with at Theewaterskloof. I'd like to just encourage everyone to use the Q&A to post any questions. We're ready to answer most of your questions, or all of your questions. If there's any, I see some of the comments in the chats, we really appreciate that. We also try and answer those as soon as they appear. So, Liani, if you're ready, I think you can proceed. Thank you.
So what is it that the Western Cape Archives require when it does come to an electronic records keeping system? There's a few minimum functionality requirements from provincial as well as national archives, which are as follows. So mainly it needs to manage a corporate file plan according to which the records are filed. It needs to manage emails as records itself. It needs to maintain a relationship between the records and the files, and then between the file series and the file plan. It needs to manage disposals, version control, and the integrity and reliability of the records. And then lastly, construct an audit trail. Okay, so I'm going to show you how Collaborator does comply with all of these points. So firstly, when it comes to managing the file plan according to which the records are filed, each different type of record, it's filed individually. Then we have managing emails as records. So we have the individual emails inside the files and in the file plan. And then each record has its own metadata, etc. Then it needs to maintain a relationship between the records, the file series, and the file plan. So this is what the file plan looks like. It has your main series and then all the folders inside. When you do go in that, it will show you everything in that specific folder. We have the version control, so managing disposals and version control. So when a record or a file is created, you have your file name, file number, description, all of that. But then you also have your disposal authority symbol, the year, which gives you your disposal authority and type, opening dates and closing dates. Maintaining an audit trail. So each record has an audit trail. It shows you exactly who made any click on any record, who viewed an object, to change any kind of field, at what time. And then lastly, maintaining a workflow. So except for the audit trail, in each record, there's a workflow history that shows you exactly who did what task at what time. If you go into the details, you can see exactly what was changed. So Philip, that was a quick look at what is required by national and provincial archives when it comes to the electronic records keeping system.
Thank you very much, Liani. And ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for the participation. I think we've answered all the Q&A questions, or most of them. I think if all our panelists can just switch on the screen so we can see if they're still here. We've answered most of the questions, all of the questions in the Q&A section. We are going to, just at the conclusion of this webinar, just have a quick poll. It's just a question of whether you enjoyed it or not, just for us for general feedback. We've had more than 100 participants in this webinar for the last hour and a bit. And we really thank you for your time. I trust that we've been able to add value and provide you some insight into a digital transformation strategy and our positioning in this space. You're more than welcome to contact us. You've got our contact details on the invitation, and I've also provided some of the contact details in our Q&A. But thank you so much, everyone. Thank you to the panel, Alan, Marlies, Liani, Estelle. Thank you very much for your participation. And let's just check the last Q&A. There's nothing there. We're great. Thank you very much, everyone. Have a lovely Friday and a fantastic weekend. Thank you.